Parental alienation is a deeply troubling issue affecting families. It describes a process where one parent systematically undermines a child's relationship with the other parent. This manipulation often results in the child becoming estranged from the targeted parent. The targeted parent is frequently loving, capable, and poses no threat to the child. Parental alienation is recognized as a significant form of emotional harm to children. Millions of children and parents across the globe are impacted by this destructive dynamic each year. Understanding its definition is the first step towards addressing it effectively within families and legal systems. Protecting children from such profound and enduring harm must be a paramount concern for everyone involved in family welfare. When discussing parental alienation, it is important to acknowledge the gender aspect of this phenomenon. It is true that parental alienation can be perpetrated by either a mother or a father. No gender has a monopoly on this type of behavior. However, extensive studies and clinical observations have revealed a significant and recurring pattern in many cases. Research consistently suggests a notable disparity concerning which parent more frequently initiates the alienating behaviors. This is a critical factor to consider in any comprehensive discussion of parental alienation. Acknowledging this trend is not about assigning blame to one gender. Instead, it is about understanding the observed dynamics based on available data to better inform interventions. A considerable body of research, along with anecdotal reports from professionals, points to a specific statistic. It is often cited that approximately 75% or three-quarters of parental alienation cases appear to be initiated by mothers against fathers. This figure is frequently referenced in academic literature focusing on family dynamics and child psychology. It is also a common observation reported by experienced legal practitioners and mental health professionals working directly with affected families. This statistic does not imply that fathers are never the instigators of alienation. They certainly can be. It simply highlights a predominant pattern observed in a majority of identified cases which warrants careful and unbiased consideration. Several complex factors might contribute to this observed gender disparity in alienation cases. Historically, societal norms have often designated mothers as the primary caregivers for children. This traditional role can inadvertently provide one parent with more extensive opportunities to influence the children's perceptions and loyalties. Historically, the landscape of child custody arrangements following parental separation was quite different. Sole custody awarded to one parent was a very common outcome in family courts. In such arrangements, one parent was typically designated as the primary residential caregiver. The other parent, often the father, was granted visitation rights, which could sometimes be quite limited. This traditional model, while perhaps well-intentioned, can inadvertently create significant power imbalances between parents. It can, in some circumstances, make it easier for alienation to occur because one parent has substantially more control over the child's daily life and access to the other parent. A fundamental shift in thinking about custody is therefore needed. Equal shared parenting, often referred to as 50-50 custody, represents a more balanced approach. This arrangement means that both parents have the child for a roughly equal amount of time. It also means they share jointly in the important decision-making responsibilities regarding the child's upbringing, education, and healthcare. This model operates on the presumption that both parents are fit, loving, and capable of contributing positively to their child's life. It strongly emphasizes the child's inherent right to maintain a meaningful and ongoing relationship with both of their parents. It is not merely about dividing a child's time, it is about fostering shared involvement, mutual responsibility, and active co-parenting. There's a strong argument to be made for 50-50 custody to be the default starting point in all separation or divorce cases involving children. Section 4. The veiled world of family courts, secrecy and insufficient evidence standards. A significant concern regarding family court proceedings in both the United Kingdom and the United States is their inherent secrecy. These legal processes are typically conducted in private, meaning they are not open to the general public or to media scrutiny. This practice of holding closed hearings is often justified by the need to protect the privacy of the children involved in these sensitive matters. While protecting children is a laudable goal, this pervasive lack of transparency can also inadvertently shield the entire court system from necessary external oversight. This can, in turn, lead to legitimate concerns about the fairness and consistency of judicial decisions. Accountability can be significantly diminished within such a closed and often opaque system. Another critical issue plaguing family courts is the often troublingly low threshold required for evidence, particularly concerning serious allegations. Accusations, especially those involving claims of domestic abuse or child neglect, can be made with relative ease by one party against another. These allegations, even if unsubstantiated, can have an immediate and drastic impact on custody and contact decisions. Courts may feel compelled to act decisively on such claims with very limited corroborating proof, particularly during initial emergency hearings or interim orders. The well-intentioned principle of erring on the side of caution to protect a child can, unfortunately, be exploited and misused, potentially leading to profoundly unjust outcomes for wrongly accused parents. The impact of unsubstantiated or false allegations within family court can be utterly devastating for the accused parent and the child. Such allegations can be, and sometimes are, strategically used as a powerful tool in a campaign of parental alienation. Section 5, the father's plight, financial drain and systemic hurdles. It is a distressing reality that many fathers who are loving, responsible and entirely capable parents face extraordinary struggles within the family court system. These are often men with no prior history of abuse, violence or neglect. Many possess clean criminal records and have been actively involved in their children's lives. Yet, despite their positive track record as parents, they frequently find themselves embroiled in lengthy and painful battles merely to maintain a meaningful relationship with their own children. This situation becomes particularly acute when parental alienation is a factor, as their positive attributes and history often seem to count for very little against a backdrop of determined alienation. The family court system, in its current state, can inadvertently create and perpetuate systemic disadvantages for fathers. Deep-seated historical biases that traditionally favored mothers as the primary caregivers can still subtly influence judicial thinking and outcomes, even if unintentionally. False or significantly exaggerated allegations of misconduct or unfitness can be easily weaponized within this environment, leading to immediate protective measures that separate fathers from children. Consequently, fathers may find themselves in a position where they are quickly presumed guilty or deemed a potential risk, often without substantive proof. They frequently bear the heavy burden of proving their fitness as parents, a standard not always applied with equal rigor to mothers. These systemic issues demand urgent reform. The financial burden placed upon fathers attempting to navigate these complex legal battles is often immense and unsustainable. Section 6. The child's best interest, the indisputable benefit of both parents. The foundational principle guiding all family court decisions related to children is, or should be, the child's best interest. This is a universally accepted legal standard across most jurisdictions. However, the practical application of this principle can sometimes be flawed or inconsistently applied. A true understanding of a child's best interest encompasses far more than just physical safety. It involves nurturing their holistic, healthy development. This includes their emotional stability, their psychological well-being, and their social adjustment. An absolutely key component of ensuring these positive outcomes is the quality and continuity of the child's significant relationships, particularly their bonds with both fit and loving parents. Decades of extensive social science research provide compelling and consistent support for this understanding. The overwhelming consensus from these studies is that children generally experience better outcomes across a wide range of measures when both of their parents are actively and positively involved in their lives following separation or divorce. This parental involvement needs to be consistent, supportive, and characterized by low conflict between the parents. The benefits of such shared parenting are observed across various critical domains of a child's life. These include improved academic achievement in school, enhanced emotional stability and resilience, better social skills development, and more appropriate behavioral adjustment. This robust body of data is compelling and should consistently guide court decisions. The specific benefits for children who have two actively involved and caring parents are numerous and significant. These children tend to exhibit higher levels of self-esteem and self-confidence. They experience demonstrably lower rates of common mental health problems such as depression and anxiety. Section 7. Pathways to Progress. Envisioning a future of fairness and accountability. The current family court system often fails to protect children and support healthy parent-child relationships. This is especially true in cases involving parental alienation. Systemic reform is essential. We need changes that promote fairness, transparency, and protect children from harm. The focus must be on nurturing healthy bonds between children and both parents. Achieving this requires a multifaceted approach to reform. Key areas need immediate attention for meaningful change. Education and training for judges and court professionals are crucial. They must understand parental alienation and its effects. Clearer evidentiary standards are needed. There must be consequences for false allegations. Implementing equal shared parenting should be standard unless harm is evident. Increasing accountability in the family justice system is vital. All parties must be held accountable. This includes parents who engage in alienating behaviors and legal professionals who enable alienation.